Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to boot camp. Jazzi here, and I have our workout planned out for us today. We're going to do a little bit of everything as always. 6 movements, 45-15 today, 3 rounds through. No equipment needed. We will be moving a little bit side to side for one movement for the first one. But other than that, we don't need that much. We just need enough space to be like fully flat on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead real quick with the demos and then we will get right into, the circuit. So first up here, we're going to start off with some inchworms. So for this, we're just going to push our hips back, walk our hands out on the ground into a plank position. And then you can, if you would like, do a push up here. Not required, but then we'll bring our hips up and then walk our feet in, stand on up, and then go back the way we came. So that's going to be our first movement. My camera lit a little bit. All right, there we go. And then next up, we're going to do a bear crawl shoulder tap. So we're going to be on the ground, on our hands and knees. We can then from here, we're going to tuck our toes, push ourselves up into that bear crawl hold position. So using our core, we're gently going to bring one arm up at a time, tapping each shoulder. So for that one, if the shoulder tap is a little too much, just go ahead and hold that bear crawl as long as you can. Take a few seconds of rest if you need to, and then right back into the next one. And then from here, we're going to do a kneel to squat, working on a single leg strength. We're definitely doing all single leg strength things today, so forewarning. But for our kneel to squat, we're in that tall kneeling position, planting one foot, then the other foot, and then back down. And then to the other side, pushing up and back down. So that's going to be that movement. And then after that, we're going to stand on up. We're doing reverse lunges into a jump. So we're going to go ahead, start off at the top of our space. We're going to step back into our reverse lunge and then jump straight up. So driving that knee up, do a nice little jump. If jumping's not available to you, not a problem. Go ahead, step back and exhale, driving your knee up. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So stepping back and driving up, either driving or jumping. So, and then we're gonna finish off on the ground. We're gonna do plank knee to opposite elbow. So hands and toes. And we're gonna exhale, come across, bring each knee to the opposite side. Exhaling, using our core to zip things on up. And that's going to be our whole circuit. So we're going to do 3 rounds of that. So we're going to go ahead, get started with our warm-up here. So let's go ahead, make our way to the top of our space. We're going to start off with the world's greatest stretch, as always. Interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pulling towards our chest. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, step back, reverse lunge, hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling. Thumb facing behind us, gazing past our hand here. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer. Push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And breathing into our tight areas. We're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together. Push the ground away and stand on up. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and interlace our fingers, grab onto our other knee, pulling towards our chest. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands are going to, come down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. And for exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling, gazing past our hand, thumb is facing behind us. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer and push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, stand on up. All right, last thing here, we're going to go ahead and do some plank to pike. So going on to our hands and toes. And we're going to go ahead and push our hips up into our pike position here. We can start to pedal our heels, opening up our calves, and push our head in between our arms, opening everything up. And we can go ahead and come back to plank, pushing yourselves back up to pike, back to plank. 2 more coming up, and back down, and coming on up. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna walk our hands towards our feet, and then we're gonna go ahead and slowly roll up to a standing position, and we're ready to rock and roll. So, starting off with our inchworm, so we can go ahead and stay there. I'm gonna get my timer ready here, and we are going to get the timer going here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, walking our hands out, keeping our legs nice and straight, as straight as we can while we bring our hands to the ground, walking them out into our plank. And again, you can do a push-up here. If you would like to not do a push-up, feel free. Whatever feels good for you today. I'm not going to tell y'all what to do, except for this movement. But whatever feels good for you today. So if that means no push-up or push-up, whatever you like. Great job. Keep walking our hands out here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, staying on our hands and knees. Bear crawl. Bear crawl shoulder taps, not toe taps. Shoulder taps. 3, 2, 1. So hands underneath our shoulders here, tucking our toes, gently lifting our knees off the ground. We're going to exhale, tap one shoulder at a time. Really important here, we want to try and keep our headlights on our hips, blinding the ground. So as we come up into our shoulder tap, we want to try not to move a lot here. We don't want to look like that. We're screwing our hands into the ground so our upper back is nice and flat. Core, we're pulling our belly button into our spine, zipping that all up together. Exhale as we tap our shoulder. Keeping our core engaged here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, tall kneel into our squat. We're here starting on our knees. This one I really did think about not going up and down. So 3, 2, 1. Our transitions are super nice on this workout. So planting one foot, then the other foot staying nice and low, and then to the other side. So we're alternating our legs. Turn this way. As we step, we want our knee just past our second toe, chest is staying forward, pushing up, and then the other side again, same thing. So it's the same positioning as the bottom of our squat, right? It's going to help strengthen our legs in that bottom of our squat position, because this is how we should look like when we're doing a step up, when we're going upstairs, things like that. We want our knees to come forward. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to go ahead, stand all the way on up. Reverse lunge into a knee drive or jump. Coming to the top of our space. 3, 2, 1. So we're stepping back, knee staying over our second toe. So just like our kneel to squat, it's the same position here. So stepping back, jumping right into the next one. We don't have to jump super high, but the goal here is to work on our knee drive. It's going to help strengthen our hips, strengthen our core, and also strengthen our legs and our landing mechanics. So lots of things happening for this movement today. Again, if jumping's not available to you, from here down, exhale, break that glass that's sitting at your hips. 3, 2, 1. All right. Taking a rest. We're going to do the same thing on the other leg. Then we're going to be on the ground for a plank knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. So again, starting at the top of our space, back down and up. So again, if jumping is not available to you, go ahead and do that knee drive instead. Regardless of what we're doing, we want to be nice and explosive. So we're driving off of this front foot. So we want to use our heel, big toe, little toe, the front leg. So we're down, our weight's forward. We're being explosive. Again, just like with the knee drive or the jump, it's like we have a plane of glass here. We're breaking that glass with our knees. We're being nice and explosive with our legs, with our core. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last part of round 1, plank, knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. We're coming up on our hands and toes. Exhale, bringing our knee as close to our elbows as we can. We really want to exhale, bring our core together, use our core to bring our knee up. So we don't just want to throw our knee to each side. We want to be intentional. Also, we're screwing our hands into the ground so that way our upper back is nice and flat. We really feel this in our core and our shoulders. My hip is really tight. Don't necessarily want to feel it in our hips. 3, 2, 1. All right, round 1 is done. 2 more to go, starting with our inchworms. With or without a push-up, whatever feels good. 3, 2, 1. So push our hips back. We want to keep our back as flat as we can when we bring our hands to the ground. Walking our hands out. Walking our feet back in. When we stand back up, we're really driving through our whole foot. So we do want to use our glutes. We don't want to round our back and roll up. We don't want to pull with our back. We want to drive through our feet. Very similar to if we were doing a Romanian deadlift or a deadlift in general. So pushing through our heels, standing on up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Making our way onto our hands and our knees. We have our bear crawl, shoulder taps. 3, 2, 1. So throwing screwing our hands into the ground so that will lock in our shoulder blades. Bringing our belly button into our spine, locking it in so we're breathing through our straw. Tuck our toes. And gently tapping each shoulder. So I like to do the shoulder taps because it helps the time go by faster versus just holding. So whatever feels good for you today. But the goal here is to, again, we want to use our core to keep everything nice and flat in our back and to keep our hips from moving. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Oh, my shoulders are on fire. All right. Kneel to squat is next. We're staying on the ground on our knees. 3, 2, 1. So we're switching our legs each time. So we're pressing through one foot going up, back down, and then the other side again, coming forward a little bit with our knees, driving through one foot. This is where we are going to notice deficiencies in each side. I don't know if y'all just saw that, but coming on this foot for me, my left leg is stronger than my right leg, even though I'm right-footed. So it happens. Thank you, softball. But we're driving through. So you can see my left leg doesn't really waver, but on my right side, as I push through, my knee goes in and then back out. So that's what we want to avoid. 3, 2, 1. That's why doing single leg work can really help us strengthen the opposite side to make things a little bit more even. Okay, we got reverse lunge into our jump. 3, 2, 1. Switch back. We're jumping or we are driving, whatever feels good today. If you were in class yesterday, hopefully your hips are not tight from our banded marches, but this is kind of a complementary movement to a banded march because we are driving our knee up. But on this one, we really want to focus. Exhale, use our core. We are going to use our hip flexor a little bit as well. So we always want to work on not only opening them up, but strengthening our hip flexors as well. Because sometimes our tightness comes from a weakness. 3, 2, 1. Now, weakness can also be from our glutes as well. So if our glutes are underactive or a little bit weaker, our hip flexor will take over and shorten a little bit. So sometimes we need to work on that as well. 3, 2, 1. And I know for me, my right leg is a little bit weaker. My glute fires slower, as I think we all know by now, because I feel like I say this all the time. But also that hip flexor, I have a little bit of an injury there that hasn't ever fully healed. So that's where we start to notice those deficiencies on each side. And that's why I did a lot of single leg stuff for us today. We did do some single leg stuff yesterday as well with our RDLs, but that is why doing single, like unilateral work, so single arm, single leg things, can really help us with overall balance within our bodies. 3, 2, 1. All right. Onto the ground, plank, knee to opposite elbow. And then we got one more round left. 3, 2, 1. So same thing, screwing our hands into the ground. That will help us activate our lats to keep our shoulder blades in place. Otherwise, they can be winging, we can be dipping. It helps us to keep our upper back nice and strong here. So screw those hands into the ground. Exhaling through our straw, our ribs, and our core come down and together as we're pushing our belly button in. So we should feel all of that coming together as we exhale, drive our knee up. So if we act like we have a zipper going through the middle of our core, it's attached to a string on our knee. 3, 2, 1. All right. 2 down, 1 to go. Starting with our inchworms, with or without a push-up, whatever feels good. 3, 2, 1. All right. So pushing our hips back, walking our hands out. Walking our feet in. So try and get our feet as close to right underneath our hands as we can. And then driving through our whole foot, using those glutes and hamstrings to stand back up. Job, y'all. Three, 2, 1. All right, done with those for today. Next up, bear crawl, shoulder taps, or hold, really whatever feels better for you today. 3, 2, 1. So we have our checklist here, screwing our hands into the ground, tucking our toes, gently lifting our knees off the ground. Exhaling, but we're trying to keep our back nice and flat. This one, a little bit is our single arm strength and stability as well, because we have to hold our body weight up with our hands and toes as we're lifting our other hand off the ground. I am rotating pretty bad. Okay. We got this. Finish strong here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. Next up, our kneel to squat. Then we got 3 more movements. 3, 2, 1. So tall kneeling here, coming up and back down. We should feel this in our glutes, in our hamstrings, and in our quads. So globally in our legs. But again, knee is forward, driving through our foot, coming on up, pushing through our heel, big toe, little toe. Face back this way. Three, two, one. All right. We have reverse lunge to jump on each leg, and then our planks. And then we're going to cool down with some figure four to finish out today's class. 3, 2, 1. Starting with whichever leg we'd like. Landing nice and soft. So if you notice, as I jump up, I'm going to land. My knee is slightly bent. I'm in my base position. So that's going to be right the starting position for a lateral bound, for a jump, for an RDL. It's all the same. We really want to land, gather our weight here. Great job. We're almost there. My legs are tired too, but we got this. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with that leg. Ready for the next one. 3, 2, 1. Stepping back, up. Or driving with our knee. Again, whatever feels better for us today. Great job. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. All right, last movement here. Plank, knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Exhaling. Bring your knee up. Really using our core. Zipping the core up. Our core has a zipper with a string attached to our knee. We're zip our core up, our knee follows. Finish strong, y'all. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it for today's circuit. Let's go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way on to the ground, on our backs. We're gonna do some figure four today. Did a lot of single leg things. We're gonna stretch out one leg at a time, and then we'll be good to go for the rest of the day. So we're gonna go ahead, laying on our backs. We're gonna take one ankle, cross it over the opposite knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you'd like to have a little more tension, go ahead and interlace your fingers, grab in the middle of your hamstring or in front of your shin. Pull your knee towards your chest. Really sigh away your tension as you exhale. Let your body sink further into the ground. And we're gonna go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently bring our feet back to the ground. And when we're ready, we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So taking it across the ankle, crossing it over our knee. And if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. If you need a little extra tension, go ahead and interlace your fingers, grabbing either in the middle of your hamstring or in front of your shin, and pull your knee towards your chest. Same thing, nice big inhales. Exhale, sighing away your tension. And let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently bring both of our feet down to the ground. And feel free to stay laying on the ground, or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that is going to be all the time I have for us today. So thank y'all so much for joining me. Y'all did great today. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you soon.